Yes, I'm an Amazon box hoarder. Get used to it. Greetings one and all, this is Lloyd Brown and welcome social media family to my vlog. Now you might be asking yourself, well, how come you got a whole bunch of Amazon boxes in your yard? Simple reason is returns. I don't take it for granted that whatever I buy is going to be in full working order when I get it, because sometimes these crafty little sods in the warehouses, they get returns and try and send you back their sloppy seconds, and I'm not having that. And they expect me to just say, okay, well, this button's not working, so I'll just live with that. No, that's like them trying to sell me something for £30 and me giving them 25 quid. They're not going to accept that, neither am I. From my 28-day money-back guarantee is in effect, I'm keeping the boxes until I know that they're in working order. But most of my stuff are in working order, and I need to get rid of those boxes anyway. It's just a habit with me and a pet peeve with some people that come here. But anyway, greetings one and all. Lloyd Brown, welcome social media to my vlog once again. And 2018 is the year of productivity, is the year of the music producer, is the year of creativity as a producer, as a music producer. And this is going to be the last video in the series of the equipment that you're going to need from an entry-level, budgetary constrained point of view. So I've talked about digital audio workstations. I've talked about audio interfaces. Now I'm going to talk about another piece of equipment which is more or less optional, because I know some people don't even use these equipment, but MIDI controllers. Those are the equipment that you're going to need if you want to play digital music and put digital code into the DAW, so that you can assign those notes that you played in the DAW to instruments that are located within the music workstation. For example, if you just play da 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 da, right? The notes are there, right? But you can put any instrument to that, and if you want a bass, you can get boom, 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 trumpet, etc., etc., etc. So the notes basically stay in the timeline as recorded, and you can assign whatever instrument you want to in there. And the MIDI controllers are basically the bridge between you composing and the sound in the digital audio workstation. That's going to basically affect the sound and the style of sound and the quality of sound that you're going to produce. Now, on my screen over there, there is so many MIDI controllers to choose from. I can't even basically make a recommendation specifically, because there's so many. There's hundreds and hundreds of these MIDI controllers. But what I will do, I will make a general recommendation based upon the type of musician that you are. Now, for me, you'd be surprised to know that I'm not proficient in any instrument. I don't play drums well, I don't play guitars well, I don't play keyboards well, I'm not fluent in playing an instrument, but I know what I want to hear. And having a MIDI controller is going to help me achieve that. For example, on my Silver album, I performed a rendition of Unconventional People by the late, great Prince Lincoln and the Royal Rasses. Now, the only way I was going to do that song justice was if I was to recreate everything that was in the track. The notation of the bass, the riff of the keyboards, even getting my brethren Remy to play the guitar track as it was played on the original. And probably just adding a little bit of flourish in terms of getting Matix to put their horn section in there, and Lynn to put her backing vocals on. So in between, you know, there's a happy medium of recreating exactly what the tune was with my sound and putting new sounds in there as well. But going back to the MIDI, I basically played every notation of the bass, every syncopation of the drums, every syncopation of the keyboards. So when you listen to my version and Prince Lincoln version is exactly the same. Now, if I've got a group of musicians to do it, they could have probably got it done in like half an hour. But it kind of took me like around 3 hours, 4 hours to do. But once it's done, I don't need to go back to it. And that's the beauty of it. Anyway, going back to MIDI controllers. They are in the form of a keyboard. So it basically plays the MIDI notes into the DAW, that is stored into the DAW once recorded, and you can assign those notes to any particular instrument or effect that is in your music workstations. There's different types. These are, well, this is the 25 key version, and you got your MIDI socket. Sorry, you got your MIDI socket there. You got your USB socket there, and you got the sustain pedal. I think it's the sustain pedal. Yeah, you got the sustain pedal input there, and you got a mains plug there. But you're not going to need the mains plug, because once you basically put the USB cable in the computer, it's going to power it up itself. So you got one of this size. Okay, that's a 25 key one. Now the one I use is a 49 key one, and like I said, I'm not proficient in basically playing a keyboard, but if you are somewhat proficient and you know your way around a keyboard, this is basically going to be the basic size you're going to need, because you're going to want to be able to just go up and down the keyboard and play certain flourishes and what have you. With a 25 key one, you're not going to be able to do it. Okay, so you're going to need one of these, right? And the controls, well, let me go into the back. MIDI input, sustain, and the mains. Because this is an old one and it didn't have the USB input when I had this one, which was like 2006, it relies on electricity, and it still works to this day. There's one dead note on the keyboard, but I just basically just turn the octave up to avoid missing that note. And the controls are pretty much simple. You got the data entry, which is more or less like the master volume of the level of the notes you're going to play, and this is the modulation wheel. So if I play the C note, which is here, you'll just get do, and this basically affects it by moving it down here. It'll be like do, and then to push it up, it'll be do, 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 do. That's the modulation of the keyboard. Okay, so I've got three. This one for my old Rhythmworks studio. This one for my new Rhythmworks station, or Rhythmworks studio. Rhythmworks station. And this one for my mobile Rhythmworks studio. Okay, now as you can see, the controls are different between this one and the 49 key one. This is the bender, and this is the modulation. That's the effect. And there's different, there's somebody at my door. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about the jump cut right there. Guess what was at the door? More Amazon boxes. Anyway, coming back to this keyboard here, the controls are pretty much the same, similar, but different, if you know what I mean. In terms of the modulation wheel, you've got the pitch bender here. So it's and the modulation wheel here. Right? And also you've got these buttons here, which you can assign these buttons to the virtual buttons that you see on your digital audio workstation, so you can edit the sounds from your keyboards like this, and you can actually record you could use a recording device in the transport bar to basically start, stop, pause, record, what have you. Do you know what I mean? So it is very versatile. As small as you see, it's a versatile piece of kit. Okay? So for me personally, I can't recommend you a specific one. It's just based on your proficiency. It's based on you wanting to future-proof your studio. It's based on a whole lot of things. But if you're entry level, I would imagine that you're just trying to get around being able to just play something, right? So I would suggest a smaller keyboard. For the proficient players amongst you, you're gonna obviously need a keyboard of this size or even bigger. There's hundreds, if not thousands of variations where you even got smaller keyboards than this, right? That you can plug into your tablet. It's amazing. Technology is really, really good right now when it comes to music production, and it's affordable as well. So check that out, okay? Now, also, what I need to bring to your attention is cables. Cables. Undervalued things, but necessary things, because if you don't have these connected, if you don't have these, there's no way for you to basically go into your audio interface. You can sing as loud as you want. It ain't recording nothing. You gotta have something plugged into it. So let me first start off by saying that you are going to need you're going to need an XLR cable, which this end, which is the female end, that is what is going to be, that's what's going to plug into the microphone. So let me just show you real quick. Forgive me, my place is an organized chaos right now. Okay, so there's my microphone, right? And you've got the male, which plugs into the female, if you know what I'm saying, ladies. And the other end, which is the male, again, will plug into the interface like so. Okay? So that's basically the connections between your microphone and your audio interface. Now, with the leads, you're going to need to have, I would say, one. You're just going to need to have one, because unless you're recording two vocals at the same time, which I doubt, you could just literally just record one vocal at a time with the one lead. But bearing in mind, you need your leads to be long enough from where the studio is based to where you're voicing, and have at least a meter worth of slack. Because what you're going to find is that if you have the leads and they're too small, they will basically be taut between the connections, and say the floor is there at the bottom of the screen, it will be taut like that. And you don't want people walking across it and tripping over the lead and knocking your equipment to kingdom come that you just paid for. So figure out the length between, the measurement between where you're going to voice, where your studio is, and add a meter of slack, okay? And you'll be good to go. Right. Next up, you're going to need 1/4-inch jack leads, okay? Now the reason why you're going to need these is because of the instruments that are going to be able to be plugged in the same place, in here, okay? So this socket serves as a socket for both XLR leads and 1/4 inch jacks. And what you're going to find with these leads, they're going to be used with bass guitars and rhythm guitar, lead guitars, etc, etc, etc. So you're going to need one of those. Now the leads can be shorter because they don't have to be in the room where you're voicing. They can literally just be right in proximity of where the studio is going to be, and they can just basically plug their instruments from there into the audio interface, because it's not audio they are recording. It's a direct signal from the instrument to the door. Okay, so I'd say this length is good. This length is good. I think it's 6 foot, 2 meters. Make it 3 meters. Okay. You're gonna need 2 leads. You're gonna need 2 of these leads. You're gonna need one of around this size, but you're gonna need another 1/4 inch lead that's gonna be the same length as the XLR lead. Reason being is because you're gonna need one for the instrument and one for the headphones. Okay. Now, with the headphones, there's going to be a slight caveat with the headphones. Simply because I've lost the lead. Where's the lead? Where's the lead? Right, I have to make a pause. 1 second. Sorry about the continual jump cuts, ladies and gentlemen, but my leads are like spaghetti and I'm trying to unravel them so I can give you a detailed instruction as to what you're gonna need. So forgive me, I just want it to be fluent, but if you can't find the lead, you don't want to see me looking for a lead for like 5 minutes, do you? Anyway, so you're gonna need another another 1/4 inch jack lead, which is the same length as your XLR lead, because the headphones are going to be in proximity of where you're recording your vocals and any audio source like trumpets and trombones and stuff, right? So you're going to need another one of those leads of that length. But the caveat is that you're going to have to buy an adapter as well, simply because your headphones, right, if they're both male, there's nowhere for the headphones to basically go, right? So you're going to need an adapter so you can plug another adapter, which is male here and female here, which is an eighth of an inch. Okay, now you plug it into here, and then you plug your headphones, or even if you're really tight, if you're tight-assed, you can basically put your phone earbuds in here and record. I do that sometimes when I can't find my headphones, and I put it in here and basically record with these. There's no shame to my game at all. I just want to hear what I'm recording. And sometimes when I'm in a pinch and I can't find the headphones, but I guarantee I've got my phone earbuds, I just plug them in and record, and I'm good to go. But you're gonna need this adapter here and this adapter for your 1/4 inch lead, which is going to be the same length as the XLR lead. Okay. Next up, and this is completely optional, with your Midi keyboard, as I just shown you the connections, there is a sustain pedal connection here. That's it there. Okay. A sustain pedal. I would suggest getting a sustain pedal for the simple fact that it's going to create as natural of a piano sound as possible. But then there are DAWs that has the sustain pedal built in the software as well. But if you want to naturally feel like you're playing something and being controlled naturally with your feet, because that's how you control the sustain pedal, with your feet and not your fingers. If you want to have that feeling, I'd buy one of these as well. But it's entirely up to you, okay? Right, next up, you're going to want a microphone, a condenser microphone. There are two types of microphones in this music business, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, there's the dynamic microphone, which, oh my gosh, where is it? Well, basically, it's a bog standard microphone, and these microphones that can be plugged into the XLR cables, and you'll see them a lot in front of guitar amps, on drum kits, on the kick drums, right? And they're wired up. The reason why they're called dynamics is because they can record really loud, boomy sounds with no variation of sound. It's like they can just basically record real hard and heavy sounds and keep it contained within the recording. With condenser mics, these record variable tones, variable levels, variable textures of sound that's coming from your mouth or whatever instrument that records from an audio source, right? And that's what a condenser mic does. And these are the mics that you're going to need to record your vocals, okay? Now, I've had this for 12 years. Still going strong, okay? So whatever mic you basically get will last you as long as you take care of them, okay? Now, there's many different condenser mics out there in the marketplace. I can't even recommend you this one because it's obsolete now, but it still works. It's not broken, so I ain't trying to fix it. So have a look around, depending on your budget. I wouldn't spend more than £100 on a microphone, to be perfectly honest with you. I bought this for like £120, yeah, 12 years ago. But they have gone down in price now. And for an entry level music production suite, if you like, you just want to be able to hear the audio source, your vocals, just hear it, just make it be audible to the ears. There's no distortion or anything like that. And then you can EQ it and balance it and give it the effects and what have you. That's where the production comes in. Your raw vocals is your raw vocals. And having a £300 mic is not going to make it any better. Like I said, if you sing off key in a cheap mic or an expensive mic, no one ain't gonna know the difference. All they know is that you're singing off key on both microphones. So that's what you need to basically bear in mind. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else, except I've got to clean up my lab because I'm covered in wires and Amazon boxes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But those are more or less the things you're going to need. I'm going to leave it up to you, whatever's in your price range, in terms of what you feel comfortable with in getting. But don't go over, don't go over and beyond. If you want something that's basic, if you feel that you can only deal with the basics, get the basics. If you feel that you want to improve and become a proficient player, then future-proof your stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, that's all I can suggest to you. But anyway, is with that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu. And while I'm frantically looking for my remote control, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the feedback and the love and appreciation that you have shown to me in this series of videos in regards to music production, because, you know, it's not just about being able to sing and make music and, you know, have hit tunes and getting a big forward and pull up on this and that and what have you. It's about what goes into making those things. And I just wanted to, you know, to enlighten and give some insight to people who don't know what's involved, and to give some insight to people that wants to know and wants to move further in that field. So thank you very much. Many, many thanks for all the feedback. Okay. And it's with that, you know the coup. People, keep on bleeping. People, please abstain from foolishness wherever possible. And until I catch you on the next one, stay blessed. My God.